Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone that can hear the sound of my voice, to this week's edition of the Petty and Ill-Informed podcast, where we venture our petty and ill-informed opinions about a variety of subjects. Joining me, just Tom tonight. How are you, Tom?
Yeah, all right. I haven't been able to make it the last couple of weeks. One of them, I was at a party in with some friends at work, and they didn't want to leave early, so I was still there at 11 o'clock when we start the show. That was fun. Good to hang out with people. Good to be out with work people outside of work. Let our hair down a bit. Not that I was too outrageous, but a few people were very drunk, as you might expect at a party.
Did
Uh,
anyone drunkenly hit on you?
Nah, not so, nor soberly either. Nah,
I mean,
nah, it was
we
cool.
wouldn't cheat on our respective partners, but it'd be nice to know we still were in the game, you know?
Oh, that kind of flattery is quite nice, I suppose, but I haven't experienced it recently. So, what game are we playing here?
Tonight we are playing the indie game Age of Water. It's an arcadey pirate game because I still haven't re-downloaded Skull and Bones. Sorry, SoFlo. The problem is I have to reinstall the Ubisoft launcher, and I hate the Ubisoft launcher with the fiery passion of 1,000 hot suns, and I keep forgetting to do it. Sorry, SoFlo. I'll get it done for next week.
Oh, but it's the same sort of game, just a more modern take on it.
Yeah,
It
just
look,
more modern. This was
fun.
advertised as Rust on Water, but let me tell you, it ain't.
What's Rust? Is that a game?
Yes, Rust is probably one of the most popular open world survival craft games in the world, other than Minecraft, obviously. It's famous for two reasons. One, it's got one of the best base building mechanics out of any game ever. And two, it has got the most toxic community from any video game in the world.
Okay,
And as someone who used to play it, let me tell you, they ain't exaggerating.
okay. It's a toxic community.
Oh my god, yes.
What are they just brutal in the group chats?
Oh god, if they just left it at the group chats, that'd be fine. It's the fact that they'll grief your base. They'll build tool cupboards all around it to limit your build privilege. Some of the clans will even build a base around your base so you can't do anything.
I'll find
Blow
any.
through your doors through explosives and then lock you in there. It's just, oh. Yeah, I just had
Okay.
to stop playing in the end because, like, my reflexes, I'm 40 years old. I can't play games at the fucking level that kids play it at. And game like Rust, no chance, man. It was just dying over and over again and getting your base nicked and just like, this is supposed to be
Oh,
relaxing.
come. Um, Richard, I need to take some time out quickly. I need to spend about 5 minutes looking for my eldest son has lost this TV remote somewhere in his room, and I need to go and find it
What?
because no, seriously, he can't find it, and I'm the person with the Midas touch for finding things in our house. So I need to
Alrighty.
go and find that. So I'm afraid you're gonna have to hold the fort on your own for about 5 minutes, I would guess.
No problem. Off you pop
Thanks,
then.
man. See you all in a bit.
So yeah, Rust is probably, apart from Minecraft, the most popular open world survival craft. But my favorite open world survival craft is a game called Valheim. I believe I played it before on the show. That's the one, that's the one that speaks to me the most. I like it. It's relaxing. Can build a nice, impressive base. It's got a Viking-y motif. I gotta be honest, I got this game for free from a Twitch drop. It's it's not great. Age of Water. It's just a bit repetitive. Maybe it'll get better when you get into a higher level. I don't know. I'll keep at it. But I shall remember to re-download the Ubisoft bloody GUI and then re-download Skull and Bones. Ugh, I hate third-party launchers. I would much prefer, like, if you buy a game on Steam, you'd think to yourself, oh, okay, that's it. I'll just play it on Steam. It's fine. But no, more and more often these days, you have to download a third-party launcher on top of the Steam. So, I've got Ubisoft launcher, I've got an EA launcher, I've got GOG, I've got Epic Games. All these launchers for games I've purchased on Steam that won't run unless you run the third-party launcher. And it's becoming common, and they're the most famous ones. Like, I booted up The Witcher not that long. Oh, no, the CD Projekt Red, they've got their own bloody launcher, third-party launcher now. And I was like, what? Why? Blizzard games, if I played Blizzard games anymore and wasn't boycotting them for the amount of microtransactions they pumped into Diablo Immortal and Diablo 4, that had a third-party launcher. If you just get a game on Steam, you should just be able to play it on Steam. Well, I got another piratey type game called Sunken Land, which I really like, but it's still in early access. And I was waiting for them to do a content update on it. I haven't played it for a while, so I should actually check, see how that's doing, and see if that tickles your fancy, SoFlo. But if not, I can just get Skull and Bones again. It's no big deal. I mean, I own it. It's not going away.
Hello, mate. I'm back.
He's back.
It was just down the side of his bed. As
Come
he could
on,
have found it
bad
himself.
kid.
He could have found it himself, the slacker.
Yeah, I mean, did he even look? Or was he just like, Dad? Oh, wait, crap. Is his leg still busted up?
Oh, no, it's very... Thanks for asking. It's very much on the mend. He's been... his cast came off... Oh, let me think when. Late August. He'd been in a brace, and then that came off a couple of weeks ago. And he's been able to walk without a crutch. He's putting more and it's getting very much back to normal, thankfully. So yeah,
good.
very, very pleased to be able to say that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the bad kid, but we wouldn't want him to suffer any permanent damage.
Bad kid indeed.
Well, none of us were a saint when we were a teenager, except you, probably.
Says what you mean by a saint. Funnily enough, I was never given a curfew by my parents. They never said you've got to be in at this certain time. And I think that's because I very rarely did anything really daft. I very rarely did anything really daft. I had a couple of fun incidents. I made the mistake of when I was it would have been in my A levels at about the age of 17, and we all used to go to the pub because they didn't ID you back then in 1996. They didn't ID you. Everyone just used to go to the pub and drink and smoke all they wanted to. You came back, your clothes, whether you smoked or not, your clothes would come back stinking when you went for a night at the pub. Do you remember those days, Richard?
Oh, yeah, I remember being out of smoking pubs.
Well, I didn't smoke, but I was absolutely stinking. My clothes reeked because of it. But anyway, I made the mistake of inviting the entire pub around to my house. Now, for a 17-year-old, I was actually pretty responsible, I think, because I managed to. I made the house as damage. I put a lot of advanced damage limitation before everyone came round. I spent the day took all the pictures off the walls in these glass frames. I took them all down and took them over I put them in the shed. And I filled the shed with all these pictures. I think I hid all my dad's booze as well. But what I didn't account for was things like I didn't account for the fact that everyone would start cooking. Everyone drunkenly raided the kitchen and put loads and loads of food on. Someone boiled up an absolute ton of pasta and caked it with salt. It was a girl called Des. I remember her. There was butter everywhere and things like that. So I didn't account for that. And I wasn't quite able to hide all the evidence from my parents. I think there were a few footprints and things like that. So my parents did hear about it. They were on holiday, but my parents did hear about it, definitely. But then the worst thing was just a couple of months later, when they were away, I invited just a small circle of friends to our house, and we were all really miserable teenagers. So invariably, in every room there were two people. One person was crying about how sad their life was, and the other person was consoling them. And a lot of people were walking around the garden and then walking around the house, and there was mud all in the house and all in the carpets. And they did raid my dad's booze. I remember it was more than a few months later, but I was 18 by then. I was legal and to buy booze, and but they raided my dad's booze, and I made a massive shopping list. So my dad, every bottle of spirits that my mates at the time caned, my dad was going to get a free top up, and whatever he'd drunk and my mates had drunk was, he was replaced in full. I mean, it was stuff like Drambuie and sherry and things like that. But I remember, and then he. I can't remember this really well. My parents came home about 9 o'clock the next morning, and they could see that something had gone on. I mean, I had been hand scrubbing the carpets till 4 a.m. I remember it well. And then I got up at about 8 or 9, and my parents were having a go at me as soon as they got home. And then my dad he hadn't discovered for a little while that his drinks cabinet had been raided. But then he did find it. He went, no. He didn't quite know his language. He called me a slut for it. He went, "They've taken all my booze, you slut."
That's brilliant.
And I said, Dad, I'm going to replace it. Look, I've already got the list. Tesco's needs to. Waitrose opens at 10 o'clock. I'm going in 5 minutes. And I did. I went to Waitrose, and because I was earning then, I was on a year out. So I wasn't like that. It was their money that they were giving me as pocket money that they were going to have to spend to replace it. It was my own money. And fair play, my dad did. He could see I was serious, that I'd taken this problem seriously, and I was pleading with my sister. It wasn't. She goes, "I can't believe you had another party, Tom." And I was like, "I didn't have a party. Just a few mates came over, and they've been arseholes."
I mean, that's fair. That's always the worst when your mates take the piss.
Yeah, they did, and teenage mates really take the piss, and boy did they take the piss. But it's all done with now.
Yeah, we're mature adults now.
Well, apparently so.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that to kick in, but...
Oh, aren't we all, mate? Aren't we all?
I assume that happens around 50-ish.
Well, I'll need it to happen because I'm... Yeah, I will most definitely need it to happen. Because I am 47. So I'll be 50 alarmingly soon, whether I like it or not.
My dad said 50 wasn't as bad as 40.
Yeah.
Mind you, 40 didn't bother me that much. 30 was atrocious. I got hammered and nicked my friend's couch when I turned 30.
You nicked your friend's couch?
My neighbour's sofa, yeah.
How do you steal a couch?
Went in through the window and we sort of nicked it. There's like 5 of us. We were really drunk. Yeah, it's one of those things that you look back on and think, "Oh, thank God I didn't go to jail." But
I mean, a couch, that is quite an achievement. I can't deny it. I mean, that's special, that is.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear, that is hilarious.
But at least, you know, I can look back and say, yeah, you know what? I really embraced that birthday. I went balls out with that.
Yeah. Oh dear, that is funny.
So I was trying to make an intro for the show using AI, and it's just not working at all. I can't figure AI out.
Why would you want to?
And I'm just like, am I at that age now when newfangled technology is just impossible to use?
Probably.
You know, when we get older and it's just going to be like, you know, oh, I'm not having any of this direct to brain communication. In my day, we had WhatsApp.
Well, quite.
All right. Shall we get to the news?
Yeah. Have you got anything for us? Because I've got a couple.
Yeah, I've got some news stories cooking in the old news file.
Okay.
Where are we at? Here we are. So, long lost Spanish treasure worth $1 million. Discovered off Florida coast.
Okay.
I consider this weird because it's, you know, it's strange that they're still finding pirate treasure, yar, these days. So more than 1,000 silver and gold coins were found by a team of specialist divers in a stretch of water aptly known as the Treasure Coast.
Right.
It's believed they were minted in the Spanish colonies of Bolivia, Mexico, and Peru, and were bound for Spain on a fleet of ships also carrying jewels back in 1715. Oh, and then it was sunk by a hurricane. What makes this haul special is that the dates and mint marks are all still visible on some of the coins found over the summer, a valuable resource for historians. Each coin is a piece of history, a tangible link to the people who lived and worked and sailed during the golden age of the Spanish Empire.
Yeah, well, why not?
Yeah, finding 1,000 of them in a single recovery is both rare and extraordinary.
Yeah.
The company uses underwater metal detectors and hand-fanned sand to carefully comb the sea floor. Florida law means treasure troves belong to the state, but excavators are often given permission to conduct recovery services. That means that they probably aren't going to get the $1 million.
No.
There we are. $1 million worth of old coins found in Florida. Get out there with your metal detector, SoFlo. It could be you. Okay. I got trapped inside my house with no escape after Amazon order went wrong.
Okay. Trapped
This
in
is
my house with no escape.
Yeah.
Okay, that's original.
So, a woman has revealed how she became trapped in her own home after an unfortunate incident involving her new drying rack.
Okay.
But when she found herself in a jam immediately after a new gadget was delivered, it was brought to her home by a DPD courier who left the box on her doorstep and exited before she had time to answer. Now, I believe this. DPD drivers are the worst. If you don't get to the door within 30 seconds, they will just leave it. Seriously, you know, in the rain, they don't care. They'll just dump it on your doorstep.
And
It
so,
was only,
go on.
It was only when Rhiannon came downstairs and tried to open the door that she realized the delivery driver had rammed the parcel under her door handle, trapping her inside.
Well, that is quite an achievement.
So she heard the doorbell go from upstairs and she was down in seconds. I could see the box under the handle through the window and thought, oh no, I'm not going to get out of here. I tried unlocking it and moving the handle, but it was fully stuck. I phoned my dad and he said I'd have to climb out of the window. The window was deceivingly high and I'm only 5 foot. There were lots of spiders as well. Well, you should dust more, love. I mean, what do you want me to say? Get a fluffy duster and get rid of them. There she is climbing out of the window, she's taking a picture. Oh, come on. It's not that much of a hardship, is it? So she lodged a complaint with Amazon because if she'd been elderly, it could have been really bad.
Well, I suppose it could have been.
But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can get stuck in your house if you order off Amazon.
That's pretty special. Oh God, my friend was in the news because of Amazon a few years ago. And someone I used to live next door with the same house that I trashed with a couple of one party and one impromptu party. The next door to us lived a family called the Jennings, and the eldest of them was living some other town in the country, I forget where. And besides, I don't want to dox her. And an Amazon delivery person decided that the best way to deliver the package with no one in was to. They looked up and saw that a first floor window was open, and they managed to flip this parcel up and through the window, so it just landed on whatever was the other side. And then they shoved a note through the door explaining where it was through first floor bedroom window. I mean, I presume they did. It's been an interesting one for them to have to write. And they made the local rag. And there was actually, unless I'm very much mistaken, there was a semi-organized competition outside the front of the house where people had to take the same parcel and see if they could throw it up, see if they could repeat what this Amazon delivery driver had managed to achieve. I'm gonna look that up because, and honestly, you'd think I'm making that shit up, but I'm honestly not.
I believe it. That's one of them stories that's so strange it has to be true.
Well, it is. I'll need to find it. Need to see if I can. I'm just in Facebook Messenger at the same time. I'll see if I can pull it up.
Alrighty then. And next story, while you do that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this one's my favourite. Pub shares reason for rescheduling psychic as people are left in stitches. So a pub had to cancel a psychic, and the reason they gave was unforeseen circumstances. So you can imagine there's a lot of jokes about that. Ooh.
That's what the adverts you get in news are rubbish, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what's the linchpin of this story?
The linchpin of this story: a pub was hosting a psychic night and had several psychics booked, and then had to cancel at the last minute for unforeseen circumstances.
Right.
Well, they're psychics, Tom.
Well, that is quite an irony. There we are. Sorry, it took me I'm too busy looking for
Yeah, see, Twitter users, they probably should have seen that coming. Yeah, I mean,
well, quite. Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's see if I can find this. Okay, I can't find it in the message history. I'm going to need to see if I can search it through Google. I'll just try search translate Amazon box through first floor window. But anyway, I've got a couple of news articles
Go for it.
It's I've got it's got an identical story. It's called, yeah, I remember that now. When I've searched for this before. Oh, so I'll keep looking. Oh well. So I'm quiet. I'm just trying to hunt this thing out. See if I can find it anywhere. Nope. Nah. Oh well. You have to just trust me that it happened. If I find it in the week, I'll show people next week. So now let's see. See if I've got a couple of news articles. Now, Richard, you're always a fan of sharks.
I am a big fan of sharks.
Okay. Fatal attack revives debate over controversial shark nets in Australia. Mr. Glenn Butler, surfer for 50 years, 61 years old, gone for a surf. A few minutes after he got up the water, fellow surfer Mercury Silakis was killed by a great white shark. The killing has revived a long-running and delicate debate about how to keep beachgoers safe in Australian waters. Okay, the most controversial measure that they have to mitigate the risk of shark attacks are nets, which are rolled out each summer at many beaches. Conservationists say they do more harm than good, doing little to stop sharks, causing massive harm to other marine life. Many beachgoers remain attached to them as another layer of protection.
Yeah, shark nets aren't that good for deterring sharks.
No?
No. And they do a lot of damage to turtles and other animals.
Oh. I mean, it's. I don't know what the answer is. I'm very ill-informed, doing what I say on the tin, even if the psychics at the pub don't. Just learning about this kind of thing for the first time. But you seem to be a bit more informed than I am, Richard.
Well, the thing is, sharks don't like the taste of people, right? So they very rarely kill us to eat us. They will eat us if they're hungry, but they won't go out of their way to attack us. Most shark attacks are test nibbles to see what's going on, because a lot of sharks' sensory is around their mouth, so they'll take a chunk out of people, just to see what it is, and they'll spit it out and go, "Yeah, that's not very nice." The problem is, if a great white takes a test nibble out of you, you're not likely to survive. As to keeping them away from people, well, surfers look like sea turtles and seals, which is what sharks eat. Unless they can figure out a way to surf and not look like shark food, then they're going to continue to be preyed upon. It is unfortunately the trade-off of going into the sea.
Oh, well, indeed.
I mean, you could try surfing in like England or some European coasts where they don't have man-eating sharks, but the best weather is often where they do have man-eating sharks. So.
I mean, are there any species that like us more than others?
Are there any animal species that like humans? Leopards like us. Let's see. Polar bears will eat us, but polar bears will eat anything.
Right.
Shark species. The number one most dangerous shark is the bull shark. They are very aggressive sharks anyway, so it might not be that they like the taste of us. They just might be territorial or something.
Yeah.
Hammerheads are actually a man-eater, which often surprises me when you consider them. But
Yeah. Yeah. I
great
wouldn't want
whites, tiger sharks, of course. They'll take nibbles of us. Tiger sharks are often called dumpsters of the sea because they'll eat anything.
Oh. Okay.
Tigers aren't big on us. They'll usually only attack us to defend a kill or defend territory. There are not
Yeah.
many cases of tigers attacking humans to eat them. Lions, of course, you got the man-eaters of Nyombe and the man-eaters of Savo. So they will get. The interesting thing about the man-eaters of Savo, right, is that usually when a big cat turns to eating humans, it's because they've suffered an injury that makes catching their natural prey difficult.
Yeah.
Like there was this leopard in India that killed over 400 people. Got a porcupine quill stuck in its butt that got infected, so it couldn't hunt normal prey.
Okay.
But there was nothing wrong with the man-eaters of Savo at all. They were two really healthy males in like the prime of their life. So they just did it to do it.
Okay. It's just
I've always found that very interesting.
Somewhat frightening.
Well, you know, a lot of these animals, they are the kings of their respective domains, and we are like interlopers in a way.
Yeah.
It's just an enhanced brain and opposable thumbs that separates us from the rest of the animal kingdom.
Opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
One rarely known fact, well, quite relatively rarely, is specifically what distinguishes mammals from other species, from everything else.
Mammals.
Yeah.
Has hair, gives milk, gives birth to live young.
Yeah, but you're the only one of those that's exclusive is or fully inclusive. Sorry, is the middle one. It's the making milk for their young, hence mammary. Because you have exceptions to the other rules. Like I don't know, at what point in their lives do dolphins have hairs, or do they have teeny tiny ones?
They have very whatchamacallit, thin strands on their body. So do whales.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not. Never gotten close to a dolphin myself. And if that's just some scientist going, oh, yes, only stupid people can't see the hair after they realised it was an exception to their rule. But it's alive, young, produces milk, has hair. That's usually the difference between mammals and other animals.
Yeah. Having had the dolphin ones, they must be almost microscopic.
It's the duck-billed platypus and the ichniders that mess up.
With laying eggs.
Yeah. You have to admit, like, the scientists that carefully, put all these animals in their right places and then found out about the platypus must have been really pissed off.
Yeah.
I like to imagine him just screaming, going to Australia and screaming at platypi. What is wrong with you?
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. You could have been marsupials, but no.
No, you had to.
And his mates dragging him off. believe it, Bill. It's not worth it. I'll kill them. Just getting really mad at platypi and igniters. I do amuse myself.
Oh, well, they're extremely cute. Another curious exception. Back to the shark family. Sharks always they lay eggs,
Not all
except
of them.
but the rays are an exception to that because they
Yeah.
give birth to. I mean, I think all fish lay eggs, but manta rays, I know, they seem to give birth to live young. But what it is they do have eggs, and for a period of their gestation, they're within eggs, but then they hatch at some point inside the mother still, and then they're born after that.
Yes. Not all. Some sharks give birth to live young as well. I think great whites do. And I forget the species. There are species of sharks that give birth to live young, other than rays. But yeah, I believe it's a completely different process than mammals. But again, you never know. There might be some pissed off scientists because some idiot animals come along and ruined a perfectly good theory.
Yeah. Some what?
Some idiot animal came along and ruined a perfectly good theory.
Idiot animal. Well, yes, yeah, and they do. Well, they have their way of trashing these things, don't they?
They do.
I remember. I mean, one of the first major distinctions between one form of life A and one form of life B is the eukaryotes and prokaryotes, and I forget which is which, but it's about and that goes back to just two different kinds of bacteria, and then one form kind of reached a dead end, which is where the DNA inside their single cell is not housed within a nucleus. It all floats around all over the place. But then the other ones, the DNA is with like a mini cell within the cell, or it's in a proper organelle, which is a little mini organ within a cell, of which there are about 10 or 15, and they're really cool. And they're it's like a little space station in these all these color image pictures of them anyway. But in the nucleus is the largest of them, and it's where all the DNA is housed. And then from there, all other life evolves from that. But I think it's the eukaryote. I think it's the prokaryotes are the ones where it's all over the place, and the eukaryotes are where it's all bundled in. And we are in the eukaryote family, because we wouldn't have gotten very far otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, it's another one of them things that's hotly debated by scientists, but I don't know if we'll ever really know the answer. And SoFlo said, now they are saying T-Rex didn't have feathers. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a misnomer to assume that all dinosaurs turn into birds, because they clearly didn't. Some dinosaurs evolved into birds, others just stayed until dinosaurs until the end. And we'll never know exactly what Tyrannosaurus Rex looked like, but I don't think it looked anything like we think it did.
No.
I mean, it would be awesome if it turned out to look exactly like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. That would just be like the best. But I mean, yeah, I don't know why it would have had feathers. I think the smaller dinosaurs developed feathers first, like Archaeopteryx, Rhamphorhynchus. They're all aerial dinosaurs that have been found with intact feathers in the fossil record. And it wasn't like the megafauna. No feathers has ever been found around a brachiosaur or a Theracenosaur or Giganotosaurus. They're all just skeletons.
So is it? So do we? Is the point there that we still don't know to this day whether
We'll
or
probably
not?
never know unless they invent a technology that can extract dinosaur DNA from fossils or bloody mosquitoes, whatever. And then they have some technology that can make an image of the creature from the DNA. Then we'll never know for sure what they look like because they died 70 million years ago. 65. It's one of them academic distinctions, though, isn't it? It doesn't really matter because they're dead and they're not coming back, because they wouldn't be able to survive in the world because they've been missing for 65 million years.
Well, I mean, do you watch any of those Jurassic Park films?
I've watched them all. Like many autistic people, I was a massive dinosaur nerd when I was a kid.
Right. I don't know. I rather like the Jurassic Park films, but wasn't besotted with them.
I like the first two. I love the first two. Everyone after that, isn't it?
Well, the second one, I didn't feel the second one was the greatest thing I'd ever seen.
The second was awesome up to the point they enter the long grass. After that, it goes downhill really quickly.
Right.
You got the fucking little girl beating the raptors through gymnastics. And I was like, oh my God, what am I watching?
Well, indeed.
I really wish they'd followed the book of The Lost World, but they couldn't because they needed to keep the franchise going, and the Lost World book wraps the whole thing up. So.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's not so helpful.
No.
It's oh God, I had a nightmare when I went to see the first one. It's 1990. I'm 12 years old.
Yeah.
I took my little sister because she wanted to see it, but she was about 6, and we went. We went to. We went to go and see this film, and when it just she just about coped with the Dennis Nedry and the Dilophosaurus, but then when it got to the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Jeeps and those two kids with the torch and the mud, she was terrified, and she went, "Tom, you need to take me home. I just can't watch this. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do it." And I was like,
what?
Really? And she's like, yeah, I just can't. I was like, oh, God. And so, that was it. We didn't see any more. Because, she was petrified, bless her. And it's understandable. She's very young. So we went out the front. I phoned my mum and dad to see if they so I phoned my mum and dad to see if they could come and get her and I could go back and watch the rest of the film. I'd have missed a few minutes, but no one answered. So off we got on the bus and off I went. And then I had a friend called Keith who went bananas over it. And I went to see it with Keith instead a few weeks later, and I saw the whole film in its entirety. It remains brilliant. But the whole Dennis Nedry angle, I just really like it. It's such an inventive way for everything to have fallen apart. Was great greed. This, the way they've made this character, the way it seems so obvious, but it's so good. The way they build that guy up, he goes, "I'm sorry for your financial problems, Dennis, but they are your problems," and that kind of thing. And the stealing the embryo, there's a real sense of tension when he's stealing the embryos. He's busting off in that Jeep and the storm's coming in. And I was thinking about this just the other day, just remembering how the quality of the acting, You really buy it. I thought I could get it down to 15, maybe 10, 15, but you got to give me at least 15 minutes and that kind of thing. It's and that horrible death of his at the hands of the Dilophosaurus. He blinds him, and oh god, it's horrible, isn't it?
It was a gruesome death. I still don't know how the Dilophosaur made it into the car so quickly, but
it leaps around a bit.
And yeah, the movie, like, and I know this is sacrilege to say, I feel like the movie is heaps better than the book. Definitely, because the Jurassic Park first book is a really good book. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that great, and it's
Right.
very, Michael Crichton is very up his own ass with mathematics and stuff, and it goes into chaos theory way too much, and it's a lot different than the film because Ian Malcolm dies in the book, and so does John Hammond,
Mm.
and Muldoon survives, but he's very different than the film turned out to be. But I feel like the film's better. I know that's kind of sacrilege to say, but The Lost World is just a really good book and a really good film, to a point. Jurassic Park is a total load of bollocks, and there's nothing good about that film at all.
About what?
Jurassic Park 3.
Oh no, yeah, I don't know, and again, I've just lost interest.
It's just I don't know why you'd have
so many. There's so seldom great.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Anything else?
So you don't know why they'd have what?
I don't know why they'd have. Oh, I don't know why they'd have the Spinosaur as the antagonist in the third film. You need a human antagonist. If history has proven anything.
Well, it's well, I don't. What really happens in the third one? I mean, what am I missing out? What am I not missing out on?
The third one starts with Dr. Grant saying he'll never ever go back to a dinosaur island. Then a rich couple bribe him to take him to the island. So he goes back to the dinosaur island, even though being told not to go to the island. The three expendable people that came with the main characters are killed like almost instantly when they get to the island. So you're like, oh, okay, that's the end of the fatalities. And they just bumble their way across the island until they're eventually rescued. And there's no human antagonist. It's just the dinosaur, the Spinosaur, that's supposed to be the antagonist. But, because it's just an animal, it doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah. Well, I'm clearly not missing out on much then, am I?
No.
Oh, I did have a bit of an adventure. Show your age. Going to the cinema in midweek is an adventure, but yes, that's exactly what I did. I've got a friend called Dave who really likes the director. Actually, one of your favourite directors, Richard. Who's your favourite director?
My favourite director? I don't have a favourite director. I'm not.
Who directed your favourite film?
Who directed my favourite film? Fuck. I'd have to figure out what my favourite film is first.
Well, you've told me. What did you tell me your favourite film was?
Tremors?
No.
There Will Be Blood?
Absolutely. And the director?
Don't know.
Paul Thomas Anderson. Well, Paul Thomas Anderson has made Paul Thomas Anderson has just made a film that he's had brewing in his head for like 25 years or something, called One Battle After Another.
Okay.
And One Battle After Another is about like revolutionaries, but then when they hit middle age, and they're just it's set in a sort of very exaggerated version of America, sort of a parallel universe version of America today. Lot of massive racial tension, full on right wing assault rifle wielding border guards. I mean, and but a hell of a lot of terrorist attacks as well. So the whole thing's pretty brutal. Now, it works, I thought, really well. I really got a lot out of it. It was some of the car chase scenes were great. It was just a really enjoyable affair. What was but yeah, I got to go midweek because my friend Dave, he really likes There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights, which are again 2 Paul Thomas Anderson films, and so we decided to go and see this, and we did. It was so funny. There's this one bit where Leonardo DiCaprio, who plays this washed up former revolutionary, he's busted out and he's trying to run across. He's trying to run across these rooftops following this gang on this escape, but he's past it completely, and they all jump over this gap between these 2 buildings. He tries, completely fails, but luckily there's this massive tree in the way, and he falls down the branches of this tree. There was some very unexpected and much very delightful comedy moments that were very uplifting. Yeah, it was a good film. I'm really glad I went to see it. It was not Boogie Nights. It was called well, I can never remember. A lot of people have found this. You can't remember the title for about 10 seconds. One Battle After Another. Although some people, interestingly, this will be the last thing I say probably. On Mark Commode's film review, some people asked him, were very curious about the title, which they heard as One Bat Laughed at Another. One bat laughed at another, and then One Battle After Another. They're very similar, not exactly, but they're very similar. That was a source of great amusement. But no, it was a bit very far-fetched in a lot of ways, but no, really enjoyable. So I rode my bike there and back, and the lights on my bike are an absolute joke. I mean, you get what you pay for, and these were about $1.99 in Home Bargains for a front light and a back light with batteries. They're these tiny things that just wrap around the handlebars with a little sort of made of rubber. And they just loops around, latches onto itself, and it's got this piddly tiny little LED bulb. You can just about be seen at best. I wore a massive great fuck off high vis sensibly, but I was riding back and I'm going down these paths and you can see like 1 or 2 meters in front of you, just about. There's one slope I really slowed down. I was really hard on the brakes going down this slope in the woods because I just could not see fuck all. And my wife, has said, you must get some proper bloody things for this, Tom. This is ridiculous. And she's right.
What are you going to get to replace them?
Oh, I just need to go and get some decent need to get some decent bulbs at some point. Don't know when. Need to get so just I don't know, go to Halfords next weekend or something and spend a few bob.
Good old Halfords.
Yeah. So that is go on. Yeah, is that about it?
Yeah, I was just about to say. That'll wrap us up for this week. We will return next week, despite the hopes of many. It's good night from me, and it's good night from him. Good night, everyone.
Good night, people.